Scalpel. You looking at me, Diamond?
We're losing
Adrenaline now.
You'll never amount to anything, pal.
Everybody clear! You scum!
We've lost him.
Even up in heaven, the postman's sack is every bit as bulging as anywhere else you could imagine. And we've got two particularly fine letters this week. One from Andrew Thompson from Islington, who says, "Dear Dominic, I completed Donkey Kong Country on my second attempt. Is this a record?" Well, no, Andrew. The second coming by the Stone Roses is a record. This is merely an above-average games-playing feat. Second letter is from David Wells up in Glasgow. "Dear Dominic, I bought a new Sony PlayStation, but it doesn't work. When I switch it on, instead of playing fantastic 32-bit software, it simply starts to smell and moan about life not being as good as the old days." See, what you've done there, David, you've actually bought an old-age pensioner by mistake. Not to worry, if you take it back to the shop, I'm sure they'll exchange it, as long as you have that all-important receipt. All right, mate? Coming up on today's show, Phil Babb and Graeme in the second round of our footy tournament. But first, we have matters more intellectual in our event, which we like to call Three's a Crowd.
This event is only for those with nerves of steel. The game I've chosen is Puzzle Bubble, a charming Neo Geo game in which players have to destroy the advancing bubbles before they're squashed into oblivion. The beastly bubbles can only be dispatched in groups of 3 or more of the same colour. So it's only by shooting the right colour bubble in an existing group that their onslaught can be stopped. To make matters even worse, I decided to inflict 3 simultaneous games on our hapless contestant. Only by ridding all 3 screens of their bubbles before they make contact with the ground will they earn the golden joystick. It's one of my toughest challenges ever. Good luck.
And here to attempt what is probably the trickiest challenge we've ever had on this piece of quality television, please welcome bloke with top name, Damon Champ. Welcome, Damon. Now, Damon, fantastically tough challenge this. I reckon you need to be quite fit. Do you exercise at all?
Yeah, I try to exercise about 3 times a week at least.
What kind of exercise is that?
Regular exercise like push-ups, sit-ups.
You pump iron at all?
I've done a bit of weightlifting in the past, so I still do it from time to time.
Quite a smart bloke?
Yeah, I dress casually when I go out sometimes.
I actually meant intelligence, but that's a very fine answer though, Damon. That's good. That's alert thinking. Right, well listen, Damon, while you get ready to play, we'll take a look at this week's news. Blokes and ladies who wear Star Trek t-shirts are beside themselves with joy this week as the Sci-Fi cable channel comes on air. Devoted entirely to science fiction and fantasy, the channel offers films, TV shows, factual programmes and cartoons. Their modern state-of-the-art movies as well as some vintage black and white material, proving you don't need multi-million-pound special effects to make something which Saddles will attend conventions about 400 years from now wearing open-toed sandals. Virtua Cop 2, the long-awaited sequel to the arcade classic, quite literally ran along to an arcade show this month and said, "Alright guys, the standard Virtua Cop style remains with a real club bad guy day-out frenzy. There's also new features including a subway train shootout. You can even relive those happy Paisley days with top car chase shooting action. People everywhere can expect to gather around this cabaret sometime next year." Meanwhile, in Japan, the We Love Toshinden But We're Bored With The Graphics gang are rejoicing over the free CD that comes with the Ultimate Fighting Guide tipbook. It contains a patch for the game, providing a choice of different outfits and even giving rather large heads to the characters. Whatever next? Top tough challenge type situation then. Damon Champ has got to clear 3 screens of Puzzle Bobble. Normally that wouldn't be a problem for him, but he has to play these 3 all at the same time. Best of luck, Damon. Off you go. So off goes Damon onto screen 1. Now you can see he's firing the different coloured balls there. He's got to get 3 of them basically to match. There's 3 yellows there. He's got them to spin. He's going to go for another 3 greens. That was good. And also the ones below the ones that disappear, they will fall down as well. Onto screen 2. That's 3 blues just gone. Left that a little bit messy. Onto screen number 3. He's firing the blues. You can of course fire off the walls. That was a fantastic middle column of reds he got rid of there. Left a couple of yellows there. Now that's starting to shake screen 1. Now that means it's just about to fall down a level. They will all start to fall down when they get to the bottom. His challenge is over. Completely kaput. Didn't get a good run of colours there on screen 1. On to screen 2. Fired it now. He's got a green now. One more green will be useful, but he's got a yellow. He's got a blue now. Oh, he's not having the run of the colours here, but that's the greens and that's some reds. Fantastic bit of incisive play from Damon there. On to screen 3. He's got a blue. That's 2 blues in a row. A green. There's no greens handy. Here's a 3rd green though. That will help a bit. Another yellow, that's 3 more yellows gone, but look at screen 1's getting a bit dodgy though. He's getting a hurry up sign. He's only got 5 seconds, otherwise the ball will fire automatically as well. This only adds to his troubles. It's not bad, bit of tidying up there done on game 1. On to game 2. This is looking a bit more promising. Although once again the colours are going against him. Screen, oh no, look at screen 3, Damon, he's having a lot of problems there. That's getting very low indeed. He rushes to it. I said, oh, 4 reds, and that's going to help him out. 3 blues together, 3 yellows. Fantastic play from Damon. Oh, back on to screen 1, just in the nick of time there once again. He's got 3 greens together there. 2 reds together, now 3 greens together. Now let's fire that yellow. This is good play from Damon, doing unbelievably well. On to game 2. 3 greens together, that's a red. Unlucky there. Oh, the screen's gone down again as well, but he's got those 3 middle blues. That should be okay for a little while. Back on to screen 3 now. Again, the colour's not quite coming for him. There's a yellow. He's got 3 yellows, but the sides are looking iffy on 3. Back to 1. 1 is probably the calmest screen he's got. He may afford to leave this for a little while after the screen is coming down. He wants to get rid of those yellows on the right-hand side if he can. Those reds, beg your pardon, on the right. On to screen 2 now. He's cleared that bunch of yellows, cleared that bunch of blues. I'd watch screen... Oh no, he's got screen 1 and screen 3, both looking dodgy just now. He wants another red on screen 1. The red isn't coming, no, it's a yellow. And the green, he wants the red quickly. In that right-hand side, he's got to get the red, and meanwhile, at least screen 2, I'd go to screen 3, Damon, because screen 3's looking iffy. Screen 1's looking not too bad, actually, but you're getting a hurry-up warning. It's going to fire the ball on screen 1. He zips back to screen 1. It's getting lower and lower. Screen 2's not looking too bad. Screen 3's getting quite low as well. But he needs to clear some balls off at screen 1 first. He needs some greens. That'll help a lot. He needs a red as well. He needs a couple of reds. Oh no, screen 1's getting low. And so screen 3 as well. He's desperately battling against time. He's back on his 3. It's unbelievable how he's kept going this long. Screen 1's looking bad. Screen 2's not quite so bad. He can leave that for a while, but screen 1 is looking very rough indeed. He's going to fall below the line if he's not careful. He wants a couple of blues now. I can't see how he's going to do it. No, he's gone black. A valiant effort there, but Damon, he's unfortunately not done the challenge. Damon, oh, okay. I was going to get my breath back for a second there, Damon. You lasted fantastically long there. There was a couple of times it was getting very, very dodgy. Talk us through some of the moist moments for you.
Yeah, I know I lost a bit of time on screen 1 as the balls were adding up, and that made it more difficult for me to get rid of the balls. So I was just concentrating on 2 and 3 when I should have been concentrating on 1.
That was where you went wrong, you reckon?
Yeah.
Are you as bathed in sweat as I am?
Definitely, yeah. It's a tough challenge.
Yeah. Well, you can at least take your sweat home with you, and unfortunately you can't do the same with a golden joystick, as brilliant as you played, because Damon, you haven't ended successfully, but thank you very much for coming on anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, Damon Champ. So after gorging ourselves on that fine televisual feast, let's clean our palates now with a piquant review sorbet.
Keep the rhythm.
Fair enough, mate. First up, the best boxing game since my last fight. Victory Boxing on the Saturn.
Boxing games traditionally are pretty naff, but Victory Boxing on the Saturn, however, is the Virtua Fighter of boxing games. It's boxing crossed with a beat-em-up.
You can customise your pugilist in height, in weight, in the way he fights. There are 5 different styles of fighting, and as you progress through the championships, so your trainer teaches you new special moves. It's great, okay, you can get different camera angles, and you can see the fighter's full length, which is also a bonus. But the action in this one is just a little bit slow and clumsy, and it lacks realism for me.
I disagree with Dave, actually. I think that sometimes fighting games are a little too fast. With the strategy element, you can actually think about the moves that you're going to take. I actually really like Victory Boxing. It is the thinking man's fighting game.
Down and out. What a pro. Look at that. Here's the pro. The crowd is going wild. What a
Next up, the best first-person perspective shoot 'em beat 'em up since my last fight. Hexen Heretic 2 on the PC.
Whereas Doom was just running around shooting things, Hexen, however, is actually far more complex than that. You have 3 characters to choose from at the beginning, all with their own individual abilities and weapons.
The areas you're in are far more interactive. You can do things like shooting out stained glass windows, and the effects of some of the weapons and spells can only be described as truly evil.
The mage has these glowing blue hands that fire huge shards of freezing power at your enemies.
There's also the option to play in a cooperative mode as well as in the old Doom deathmatch. This is a truly huge and awesome game.
And finally, the best baseball game since my last fight. World Series Baseball on the Saturn.
It's off the wall. Now batting.
Actual teams, actual stadiums, actual players, and actually, this isn't bad. World Series Baseball on the Saturn is one of the most realistic baseball games I've ever played.
On the field of play, every single player has their own individual attributes and statistics. And when you tonk that ball for a home run, there's nothing more satisfying, even winning the lottery.
If anybody has sat through a real baseball game, they'll know how long it lasts. It goes on for hours and there's hardly any score. And that could be the problem with World Series Baseball. It's a little bit too realistic. Perhaps they should have put a little bit more fantasy in there, a little bit more action, just to keep the unappreciative British audiences interested.
1 runner on base. That ball has a chance. Oh, my! A 2-run shot to left center.
Oh, I'm a bit cream crackered. We're just working out here, not for gratuitous visual thrills. We're just so excited about the second round of the GamesMaster football tournament coming up after the break. GamesMaster Stadium. We're quite literally 3 minutes 30 seconds away from kickoff, and if you wish to be pedantic, you can start your stopwatches now to see if I'm lying. The rest of you, though, can recline and see what slice of soccer Arcadia GamesMaster has in mind.
The second round of our football championship will again be played on winning 11, and our players will have 2 halves to prove which of them is the master of the PlayStation pitch. Right, lads, let's give it 101%.
Now, you may remember last week Dean Holdsworth narrowly pipped David Kerslake 1-0 in the first semi-final of the annual GamesMaster football tournament. This week we have a clash of the defensive titans for the second semi-final. Please welcome Graeme Saux and Phil Babb. Welcome to the show, Graeme.
Thank you.
Welcome, Phil. Okay, right, Graeme, there has been a lot of atrocious haircuts in the Premiership so far this season. What's been your particular worst?
The bleached ones.
You know, like sort of Robbie Fowler's, Gaz's and that?
No names, but...
No, you haven't been tempted yourself to go for a lighter look?
No, I just leave my hair do its own thing.
Not even run a comb through it?
No.
Either.
No
I don't enough to run a comb through it, has to be said. Right, Phil, now we actually bumped into each other, right, a while back, and you did say to me you were the greatest video games player currently playing football. Are you still sticking by that?
I'll have a good bash at it.
Because you said, get me on the show, I am fantastic.
Oh, well,
so you have to be good now. You have to be good. Do you reckon you can take Graeme then?
I'd like to think so.
And what style of play will we be having from you?
Dynamic.
Okay, I'm contractually obliged at this point, gentlemen, to ask you to follow me up to the challenge area in preparation for play.
Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
PC Reviews ball boy Rick Henderson is joining me again for the second semi-final. Rick, who are you going to go for?
Oh, as a lifelong Reds fan, Liverpool that is, not the Scummers, it's got to be Phil. Phil's got to win this one as far as I'm concerned. But if Graeme indeed attacks it the same way as he attacks his left back slot for England with the same tenacity, it would be an interesting contest, I think.
Thank you very much, Rick. That was almost eloquent as well.
It was.
Okay, best of luck, boys.
English.
Let's go to kick-off. Okay, Phil Babb is playing in the orange. The team is called Spulse, playing from left to right. And Graeme Saux is playing in the blue, from right to left. His team is called Jubilo.
If you remember last week, we saw a very random game there.
Look, there's a goal straight away!
Straight away.
Quick goal! It's a lovely ball in, the goalkeeper's struggling. And then the guy follows up and slams it in the back of the net. Okay, Graeme with a lot of work to do.
Yeah, Graham's actually got to push it up front. Best thing to do there is actually to pass it around your players. Try and get the ball moving. You're not going to get any positional play with just trying to run through the other players. And
that's another speculative ball there, played into a lot of space. Oh, lovely little back-heeled clearance there from Mr. Babb, and he's coming up, that's a crunching tackle from the Saux.
He was coming from left back then, I think you'll find.
Certainly was, right. Babb on the attack, comes up to the outside of the box. Are we going to see a shot?
Oh, here he goes again! Oh, straight into the top.
Right to the keeper's outstretched hand. 2-0 to the Babbster. And here's the replay again. We see him coming to the edge of the box and he just lets rip there. Get in there.
That was superb. Eat my goal.
Okay, now listen, how is Graeme Saux going to come back from this, Rick?
He's got to get that ball moving around. I mean, Phil's just walking past his players. Try not to rely on the defenders so much, I think, is the idea there, because they're not stopping anything.
Okay, once more, it's Phil Babb on the attack. Oh no, but it's like another great tackle from the defence.
Yeah,
it's a long ball up. Phil's defence is rock solid. Now that's a speculative ball if ever I've seen one.
But I think Phil's going to be the first player to get to the edge, and the keeper's not gone for it.
A rare lapse in Phil's striking abilities.
That was very, what you might call an opportunity missed.
It certainly was, right. Again, it's Phil Babb, skips over the first tackle. Oh, skips over the second.
Oh, it's another one. It's a route. Yes, surely is.
And here's the replay again. Just look at this.
Oh, little skip. And in.
And another one. 3-0. It's looking like curtains. Coming to the end of the first half there. Maybe Graeme can snatch one back, but it's Phil still on the ball. Now he's keeping possession very well, Rick.
He's just skipping over every chance. Oh, apart from that one.
That's it. They've cleared it. One final effort before the whistle blows. Maybe no. That's it. It's half time. And the score at the moment: Phil Babb 3, Graeme Saux 0. Okay, let's kick off the second half and rejoin the action. Now the players are swapped round. Graeme still in the blue, playing from left to right now, and he's dribbling it up from defence. Not wise, but it's working. That's another. It's a dangerous ball there, but the defence cuts it out.
Maybe that's a way that Graeme can get back in the match. You can see that Phil's midfield is definitely not strong.
That's true, but his centre-back pairing are not missing a trick. Oh, that was a terrible foul, but the referee's chosen to miss it.
Referees are very lenient in this game. They won't give a card for anything.
And that was a fine shot there from Graeme Saux, but I don't think anything's going to get past the Babb's goalkeeper today.
No, I think Graham's going to be speculatively peppering that goal with as many shots as possible, but none of them will go in now.
Phil Babb quite content to sit back, soak up the pressure, hit him on the counter-attack, as he's doing now. This is another fantastic, amazing run.
What a run.
He's in the box.
Another great goal. That was very Stan Collymore.
It certainly was. Here he comes, we see it again. Talk us through this, Rick.
Well, he just, we joined it a bit too late. He went round about 3 or 4 players and just chunked it straight.
Still had the energy left to let that rocket rip. 4-0 now, and I think Graeme Saux's playing for pride now.
Yeah, I think he must be. He just wants a goal here. He just wants a goal to gain a little bit of respect from his teammates.
What can he pull out here? There's not a great deal of time left.
He's going route 1, he's going to go straight down the park. Maybe he's going to try another mazy little run.
It could be in that 8 seconds left. A rather feeble effort there.
Yeah, he should have tried for the near post there.
Okay, a week throughout, there's only a matter of seconds. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second left. This could be Graeme's final chance. We're into injury time now. The goalkeeper's going to be in no hurry to kick this out.
Oh, he's just holding on to it.
Kicks it far into the Saux half. Now, could it be there for another goal?
Maybe he'll get
Phil
one
Babb.
more just at the end. Oh, he's round one, round another.
Oh, save! Over the bar as the referee blows his whistle, with the final score being Phil Babb 4, Graeme Saux 0. Well, Phil. Well, Graeme. Right, Phil, we'll start with you. What can I say? Absolutely magnificent. What was the secret of your success?
Bit of coaching from Robbie Fowler and Stan Collymore this morning, and put my shooting boots on and it seemed to work.
But they didn't kind of influence you to change your hair at all? No, you're not going to follow suit with them? No, that's probably a good thing. Graeme, when was the last time you suffered a 4-0 defeat? It's been ages ago.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
So what went wrong?
I think someone was fiddling with my joystick.
I'm sure. Well, enough about that. We don't want to get the tabloids involved in anything. We don't want to bring the game into disrepute. And we certainly don't want to be on right to reply again because we're a little bit bored of that having happened to us. Thanks so much for coming along anyway, Graeme. It's a pity you couldn't make it to the final, but there is a place in my Sunday league team this Sunday, if you are free.
See what I can do.
Well, we'll have to test you out first, obviously. You can't just walk straight
on that performance, I think I'm going to struggle.
And Phil, we'll see you next week in the grand final.
Okay.
All right, thanks very much. Phil Babb, Graeme Saux. Now, as nice as heaven is, at times it can be duller than a very dull thing. That's why once a week I like to get out and about in a fantastic feature. The Waterworld show, which opened last week in Universal Studios California, is the most complex live action show ever, with tourists quite literally watching it by the busload. Right, today I am at the biggest, newest attraction in the world of amusement. This is the Waterworld attraction at Universal Studios in California. And don't tell my mum no, because she thinks I've just nipped out for a pint of milk. As always, thousands of hangers-on followed my every move, so I hid inside this green box until the show began.
The future. The polar ice caps have melted, and the continents are deep beneath the waves in this place called Waterworld.
I'm getting wet already.
The show features Hero Bloke Mariner having a set to with Bad Bloke Deacon, accompanied by spectacular action sequences that make Home and Away look like a bad Australian soap. Split-second timing is required to coordinate the 8 stunt people and hundreds of special effects involved. It's all controlled by computers, of course, and I went off to find project manager man Norm to see how it's done. Right, I'm in the actual Waterworld control room with Norm, project manager. Norm, tell us a bit about some of the equipment that you're using for the ride.
Well, what we have right here is our main operator control console, and this is our main show computer that evaluates all of the safety systems and sensors that we use to run the show. We have a video surveillance system, and that allows us to see people underwater. That's our jet ski launcher. That's another underwater shot.
Is it possible for anything to go wrong then with this?
Well, with every show you have the human element. You've got 8 actors out there, you've got a stage crew of about 10 people. So more often than not, it's a factor of somebody not being on their button or an actor not being in the right spot, and the effect may not go.
And out of all of the things that go on, what's technically the most difficult thing to pull off? What's the thing you're proudest of?
Well, the thing that's technically most challenging in this show is launching our seaplane. It's a free-flying piece of metal that comes crashing through the wall and lands right in front of the audience.
So is there any chance it could hit kind of bald Scottish blokes with glasses if they're sitting there? Or is it totally safe?
No, actually it's totally safe. What'll happen? The worst thing that'll happen is it won't go.
So you see the cameras there, so you can see it underwater and everything.
That's right.
You know how, like in swimming pools, they don't like it if you wee in the water?
Yes, yes.
Do you ever catch out any of the stunt guys?
Well, no, we don't catch them on camera, but we've talked about putting that dye in the water
The
that
purple
turns red all the way around, but we haven't gone that far yet. Well, my pants were certainly moist from the experience, even if the actors weren't. Waterworld is by far the biggest entertainment spectacle to hit Los Angeles since the O.J. Simpson trial, only slightly more realistic. With blokes on fire, blokes fighting, and blokes generally falling out all over the place, Waterworld makes living in Paisley look like Toy Town. Just don't fly there in economy class. That's it for today. Don't forget, next week, Dean Holdsworth taking on Phil Babb, footballing it up the way God intended on Virtua Striker in our grand final. Remember, between now and then, kids, life is like a sofa. It's great until some fat bloke sits on you. Bye-bye. I hate this place. Oh no.